I've always believed that our greatest awakenings come not in moments of uninterrupted peace, but in the tension between stillness and chaos. And as we embark on this journey together, I invite you to dive deep, not just into your mind, but into the very fabric of existence itself. Let's explore the profound interplay between the power of interruption and the gift of continuity. We often seek uninterrupted tranquility, don't we? We crave a life where everything flows seamlessly, where there are no interruptions, no challenges, no moments of discomfort. But have you ever asked yourself, what if those very interruptions hold the key to your awakening? Imagine your life as a vast ocean. The calm waters are beautiful, yes, but what reveals the depth of the ocean? It's the waves crashing, the turbulence, the storms that churn the depths and bring treasures to the surface. We must learn to embrace the disruptions of life because they are not obstacles. They are the architects of growth. I once met a monk who spent decades in meditative silence. He told me, "The moment of my greatest enlightenment came when a bird disrupted my meditation. A bird, flapping its wings, startled him from his trance. At first he was angry. He had been in perfect concentration, deep in serenity. But then he realized the bird was his teacher. It interrupted his mind to show him that true awakening doesn't lie in isolation from life, but in harmony with its interruptions. What are the birds in your life? The things you see as distractions, annoyances, could they be the very messengers of your awakening?" Now let's talk about continuity. If interruption is the spark, then continuity is the fire that burns steady. It's not enough to experience a profound moment of realization. We must integrate that moment into the flow of our lives. Think of continuity as the thread that weaves your life into a meaningful tapestry. But here's the paradox. Continuity only has value when it is tested by interruption. A thread that's never pulled taut cannot hold the fabric together. Ask yourself, how do I respond to life's interruptions? Do I see them as breaks in my story, or do I weave them into the narrative? We live in a world that glorifies constant activity. You're always scrolling, always chasing, always seeking. But when was the last time you paused? Not to escape, but to truly listen to yourself, to the universe, to the silence between the sounds. And here's the thing, if you never pause, how will you know when the interruptions come? Imagine this, you are sitting in absolute stillness, breathing in the present moment. Suddenly, someone knocks at the door. Do you feel irritation, or do you feel curiosity? That knock could be your moment of awakening, but only if you've cultivated the awareness to recognize it. Interruptions are not random, they have a rhythm, a pattern, like waves on the shore. Have you noticed that life often interrupts us just when we think we've figured it all out? You're on the brink of success, and suddenly there's a setback. You're in the middle of joy, and suddenly there's loss. But what if these interruptions are not setbacks, but divine timing? What if the universe is giving you exactly what you need to grow, even if it doesn't align with what you want? I want you to reflect on this. What's the greatest interruption you've ever experienced in your life? Was it a heartbreak, a failure, a moment when everything you planned fell apart? Now think about who you became because of that interruption. Did it not shape you in ways that continuity never could? Life's greatest wisdom often hides in its interruptions. They're the cracks where the light gets in. But here's the challenge. Most of us resist interruptions. We fight them, ignore them, try to control them, and in doing so, we miss their gift. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine, a successful entrepreneur, once faced bankruptcy. It was the ultimate interruption in his life, a total collapse of the continuity he'd worked so hard to build. At first, he was devastated. He fought against it, trying to cling to the life he had before, but then, in the quiet of his despair, he began to listen. And what he heard was not the voice of failure, but the voice of transformation. That interruption forced him to let go of his attachment to success and discover a deeper purpose. Today, he says, losing everything was the best thing that ever happened to me. Now I ask you, what are you clinging to that's preventing you from seeing the gift in your interruptions? While interruptions shake us awake, continuity grounds us. Think about the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Each one interrupts the other, yet there is a continuity to their rhythm. Life works the same way. It's a dance between change and constancy, chaos and order, interruption and flow. But continuity is not about holding on to what was, it's about flowing with what is. Too often we mistake continuity for stagnation. We think it means staying the same, but in reality, continuity is about evolving while staying rooted. It's like a tree. Its roots hold it steady, but its branches grow, adapt, and reach for the sky. Ask yourself, what are the roots of your life? What keeps you grounded when the storms of interruption come? Is it your values, your faith, your relationships? And more importantly, how can you nurture those roots even as you embrace the changes that life brings? Here's a practice for you the next time life interrupts you. Whether it's a small inconvenience or a major upheaval, pause, don't react, just observe. Feel the interruption fully and then ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? And when the moment passes, return to your roots. Let the continuity of your being carry you forward, because here's the truth, you are not the interruptions in your life, nor are you the continuity. You are the dance between the two. You are the stillness at the center of the storm, the silence between the notes, the eternal observer who weaves interruptions into wisdom and continuity into meaning. Embracing the chaos. How to turn life's interruptions into your greatest teachers. Let us go deeper now into the heart of chaos, where the beauty of life often hides itself. Chaos is not your enemy, it is the raw material of transformation. When you stop resisting the disruptions, when you stop labeling them as problems or obstacles, they become something far greater, your greatest teachers. Think about fire. It consumes, it destroys, it disrupts, but it also clears the way for new growth. Forests know this. After a wildfire, the land becomes fertile again, ready for seeds to sprout and life to return. Your life operates on the same principle. The fires of interruption can feel devastating in the moment, but they make space for new beginnings. The question is, are you willing to let the fire burn away what no longer serves you? Let's reflect on this. What is the fire in your life right now? Is it a challenge at work, a strained relationship, or an inner struggle? Whatever it is, ask yourself, what does this fire want to teach me? You might find that the very thing you fear losing is what's holding you back. When I was younger, I used to view every interruption as a setback. If my plans were disrupted, I'd feel frustrated, even defeated. But over time, I realized something profound. Interruptions are life's way of asking you to pause, to reconsider, to step back and see the bigger picture. Imagine you're climbing a mountain and a storm forces you to stop. You could curse the storm, or you could use that moment to rest, to recalibrate, to appreciate the journey so far. When the storm passes, you'll find you're stronger for it. Chaos has a wisdom of its own. It shakes you out of your comfort zone and forces you to grow in ways you never imagined. Have you ever noticed that the most profound breakthroughs in your life often come after periods of great upheaval? That's not a coincidence. It's the universe's way of saying, you're ready for more. But here's the challenge. We fear chaos because it feels like losing control. And yet, isn't it true that the moments when you felt most alive, most free, were the moments when you let go of control? Think about falling in love, traveling to an unfamiliar place, or taking a leap of faith. In those moments, you embraced the unknown. You trusted the flow of life, and it was in that trust that you found your awakening. So I ask you, what would happen if you stopped trying to control every aspect of your life? What if you leaned into the chaos instead of fighting it? What if you saw every interruption not as a barrier, but as a bridge? There's a story about a Zen master whose prized teacup broke. His students expected him to be upset. It was an irreplaceable piece of art. But the master simply smiled and said the cup was already broken. He wasn't denying his feelings. He was accepting the reality of impermanence. And in that acceptance there was peace. What are you holding on to that is already broken? Perhaps it's a dream, an identity, a relationship. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making space for what's next. It means trusting that the interruptions are part of a greater plan. Here's the truth. Life's interruptions are perfectly designed for your growth. They are not random. They are tailored to the lessons your soul needs to learn. But to receive those lessons, you must approach them with curiosity, not resistance. The next time an interruption occurs, try this. Pause and ask yourself, what is the opportunity here? At first, it might be hard to see. You might feel anger, frustration, or sadness. That's okay. Feel those emotions fully, but don't stop there. Beneath the surface of those feelings lies a gift. It could be the chance to develop patience, to strengthen your resilience, or to discover a new path. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. Your instinct might be to get frustrated, to honk, to check your phone. But what if you used that interruption as a moment of mindfulness? What if, instead of reacting, you simply breathed and observed? Suddenly the traffic isn't an annoyance, it's a teacher. It's showing you the power of presence. Here's another practice. Think of a major interruption in your past, something that derailed your plans, something that felt unfair or even cruel at the time. Now, look at who you are today. Can you see how that interruption shaped you? Can you see the strength, the wisdom, the compassion it brought out in you? What if every interruption in your future is an opportunity to become even more of who you're meant to be? You're meant to. The dance between control and surrender. Interruption is the universe's way of reminding you that you are not in control. And that's a good thing, because while control gives you a sense of security, surrender gives you a sense of freedom. It's in surrender that you find your true power. But surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means aligning yourself with the flow of life. Imagine a river. You could try to swim against the current, exhausting yourself in the process. Or you could let the river carry you, trusting that it knows the way. What would it feel like to let go of the need, to control, and simply trust the flow? There's a beautiful paradox here. The more you surrender, the more you gain. By letting go of control, you open yourself to possibilities you couldn't have imagined. You discover a strength that isn't rooted in force, but in faith. And in that strength, you find your awakening. Embracing the teacher within. Ultimately, every interruption, every moment of chaos is pointing you back to yourself, to the part of you that is unshaken by external circumstances, to the part of you that is whole, even in the midst of brokenness. You don't need to look outside for a teacher. You are your own greatest teacher. So the next time life interrupts you, remember this. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's inviting you to awaken, to grow, to become. And when you embrace that invitation, you'll find that even the most chaotic moments are filled with grace. The art of continuity. How to build a life of unshakable purpose amid change. Now that we've explored the transformative power of interruptions and the wisdom they bring, let us turn our focus to continuity. Continuity is not about resisting change, but about creating a thread of purpose that weaves through every aspect of your life, no matter the chaos. It is the art of living with intention, of building a life so rooted in meaning that no storm can uproot you. Continuity begins with clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What are the non-negotiables in my life? These questions are not easy to answer. Often we live on autopilot, guided by routines, societal expectations, and external pressures. But continuity requires us to strip away the noise and return to our core. It's about identifying the values, relationships, and pursuits that give your life depth and anchoring yourself in them. Take a moment to reflect. If everything in your life was stripped away, what would remain? Your possessions, your achievements, even your roles, these can all change. But your essence, your truth, your purpose, that is the continuity that defines you. Purpose is the foundation of continuity. Purpose is not a destination, it's a compass. It guides you through life's interruptions and keeps you steady when the ground beneath you shifts. But here's the paradox. Your purpose is not something you find, it's something you create. It's a living, evolving force shaped by your choices, your experiences, and your willingness to grow. To build continuity, you must commit to your purpose every day. It's not enough to declare your intentions once and then forget them. Like a garden, your purpose requires constant care. Ask yourself daily, what am I doing today to honor my purpose? How am I aligning my actions with my values? Let me share a story. There was once a farmer who faced endless interruptions, a drought one year, a flood the next, then pests that destroyed his crops. Yet every morning he rose before dawn and worked the land. When asked how he endured, he said, "The land is my purpose. It doesn't matter what happens to the harvest. I plant because it's who I am." What is your land? What is the purpose that you tend to, no matter the interruptions? And are you willing to nurture it even when the results aren't immediate or guaranteed? Rituals as anchors. Continuity is not just a mindset, it's a practice, and one of the most powerful practices for building continuity is creating rituals. Rituals are not mere routines, they are intentional acts that connect you to your purpose and ground you in the present moment. Think about your day. What rituals do you have that bring you peace, clarity, or joy? It could be as simple as a morning meditation, a nightly gratitude practice, or a weekly walk in nature. These rituals are like anchors, holding you steady in the currents of life. But here's the key. Your rituals must evolve with you. Just as life changes, so too must the ways you nurture yourself. Be flexible. If a ritual no longer serves you, let it go and create a new one. The goal is not to cling to the ritual itself, but to the purpose it represents. For example, during a period of great stress, I developed a ritual of journaling every evening. It was a way to process my thoughts and reconnect with my inner self. But as life shifted, I found that I no longer needed to write every day. Instead, I began a ritual of mindful walking, allowing nature to clear my mind. Both rituals served the same purpose, connection, but they adapted to the rhythm of my life. What rituals can you create to anchor yourself in continuity? And how can you ensure they remain aligned with your evolving needs? Resilience through continuity. Life will test you. There will be moments when the interruptions feel overwhelming, when chaos seems unending. But it's in those moments that your continuity becomes your greatest strength. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them with a steady heart and an open mind. To build resilience, you must cultivate trust, not just in yourself, but in the flow of life. Trust that every interruption has a purpose, even if you can't see it in the moment. Trust that your continuity will carry you through, even when the path ahead is unclear. Here's a practice for building resilience. When you face a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How is this happening for me?" This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. It allows you to see interruptions not as disruptions, but as invitations to deepen your continuity. Let me share another story. A close friend of mine was diagnosed with a serious illness. It was an interruption that turned his life upside down. But instead of sinking into despair, he used it as an opportunity to reevaluate his priorities. He let go of superficial pursuits and focused on what truly mattered: his family, his passions, his health. Today, he says, "The illness was the greatest gift I never wanted. It forced me to live with purpose." What challenges are you facing right now? And how can you use them to strengthen your continuity? The dance of continuity and interruption. Continuity and interruption are not opposites, they are partners in the dance of life. Continuity gives you the foundation to face life's challenges, while interruptions keep you growing, evolving, and awakening. Together, they create the rhythm of your existence. Think of a song. Without continuity, there is no melody. Without interruptions, there is no rhythm. Your life is the same. The melody is your purpose, your essence. The rhythm is the interruptions, the moments of change that add depth and complexity. What kind of song are you composing with your life? Is it harmonious? Is it meaningful? And if not, how can you realign with the music of your soul? Here's a final thought. You are not a passive observer in this dance. You are the choreographer. You have the power to choose how you respond to life's interruptions and how you cultivate your continuity. Every moment, every choice is an opportunity to create a life of unshakable purpose. As we close this journey, I leave you with a question. What would your life look like if you embraced every interruption as a gift and nurtured your continuity with unwavering commitment? The answer lies not in words, but in action. The answer is yours to create.